This thing on right here? This thing on? I know it's on. I just wanted to do that.
Check in, check in.
24 hours in a day is just not enough, right?
We switch it up.
What if there was a 25th hour? Major key. The 25th hour is here.
You ready?
Let's get it. We talking about leveling up.
Took it to another level.
The 25th hour mindset will help you thrive and push you to discover the best version of yourself.
I had to hustle hard, never give up.
Nothing can stop you. You all the way up.
Welcome to a diverse platform podcast.
What we do?
We create, collaborate, and chill.
Look at this world. This is really yours.
So turn up the volume
It's time to turn up.
and clock into your 25th hour
I just whipped up a watch.
with your host, Alex Toro, professionally known as Nonstop Lex.
Let's get this thing going.
That's right. Let's get it started. First and foremost, I want to send a happy Friday shout out to everybody out there. If you're listening or even if you're not listening, I just want to send some positive energy and good vibes out there to everybody because that's just what I'm all about. If you're on the road, please drive home safe because you got a weekend ahead of you to enjoy. The weather is nice. It's time to start those barbecues, plan those beach trips, connect with friends and family or anybody that, you're just close to. Because that's really what life is all about, enjoying the simplicity of life. Embrace them, embrace the people around you. Get closer to them. If you have your small circle of friends, cool. Visit them often. If you're fortunate enough to have your parents still in this life, please spend more time with them as much as possible. And I'm really speaking to myself on this too. Really doing my best to get out there and visit my parents more because I am fortunate to have them all, and not just my parents. I'm like my family, my siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles. You got to do your very best. I know life gets busy, but don't forget to surround yourself by the people who do truly love you, and just do your best. They live out of town. We got FaceTime. There's no excuses. We live in a technology-driven world. You can talk to anybody right now. I can pick up the phone and FaceTime anyone in my family, at least for 5 minutes, just to say hello. And again, guys, it's nothing that I'm doing on a daily. I'm really trying to get better at that myself. So I'm not just saying this to you guys as any kind of lecture. I'm looking at myself right now, you better do this too, Lex. When I'm done, I'll probably call my mom and dad. I'm really excited to get this thing going. I'm feeling so good right now. I may not look like it because, I've been losing some sleep here and there, late night grinds. You guys know how it goes. But my energy, I promise you, is at an all-time high right now. And that's because I'm doing the things I love to do. I'm finally stepping out and getting more into my comfort zone of ideas that I've had years ago. And if I can build a framework for you guys to help you get there, that is one of my biggest purposes. I feel like it's one of my callings in this life. I've gone through all these things that I discuss on these episodes. So if you're not feeling that good energy, then you got to do something about that. We got to pump you up. We got to get you in the 25th hour. Welcome to the 25th Hour Podcast. I'm your host, Lex. This is episode number 2. But before we get started on episode number 2, I really want to give a quick shout out, a huge thank you. I appreciate everybody who tuned in last week on my intro episode. It was episode number 1, and it was just an intro overview about what the 25th Hour Mindset is all about. So guys, if you're listening right now and you didn't get a chance to tune in, episode number 1 is available on all platforms right now. So please go check it out. Please continue to spread the positivity, share the message. I'm really just trying to live my purpose and reach at least one person a day that I can inspire to be a better version of themselves. That really means a lot to me. It really does. You guys have no idea. I've done some pretty amazing stuff in my life, and I'm still working on several different things, but I've never gotten this much feedback. And it's by the masses. It came in a wave. I did not expect that. You know why I didn't expect that? Because that wasn't really the target. As I mentioned last week, you shouldn't really live your life, or you shouldn't develop your framework around likes and views and whatnot. You should develop your framework around the people that you touch, right? Now, let me explain that again. What I mean is you shouldn't chase numbers. You shouldn't chase masses of people. What you should chase is just getting your message out there. Just doing it. The fact that I'm doing this right now, I don't care if I had 0 listeners, I would still put it out again over and over again because this is what I want to do. This is my life. I control it. So I want you to take a moment. Before we get started, I want you to take a moment and tell yourself, this is my life. I control it. This is my life. I control it. I create the life that I want to live. Not this person, not that person. You don't have to answer to no one. No one. It's been a pretty good week so far. I can't complain. It's been very productive, catching up on all my client projects. So if you're watching this and you're a client of mine or we're collaborating on something and you're like, damn, Lex, like you're working on your podcast. Where's my project? Trust me, it's coming. Trust the process. Trust the process. I got everything coming. And it's actually been a good week of organizing, really. I've been cleaning up a lot of clutter, getting rid of clothes and shoes and just kind of junk that I don't really need laying around. It feels really good to get all of that weight off your shoulders. That's another thing I want to talk about. When you declutter your environment, it makes a lot more room for you to think clearly up here. Okay, so, and I mean this physically. Like, if you're in a cluttered space, and this doesn't mean like you're dirty or anything like that, but, let's say you open your closet and it's just stuffed with all these clothes and storage and things that you don't need in there. Or you open another closet and you got all these 20 blankets in there and pillows. You know what I'm talking about. Things that you just kind of hold on to forever. Take a weekend or a day and declutter all of that stuff. Get rid of it. Give it to those in need. Donate to the homeless. I promise you, at the end of the day, you're going to feel so damn good. And you'll clear a lot of mental space. You may not think of it that way, but when you declutter your environment, you're making a lot more room up here. And it's fueling your soul and your mind. That way you're just not thinking about it in the back of your head. So I kind of discovered that sometimes we think about things without thinking about things, if that makes sense. We have all this clutter sitting in the back of our minds, just waiting to take over our mood, take over our day. So you got to start doing the simple things around you, whether it's decluttering your home, organizing your calendar, or just kind of taking walks. Declutter that mindset, guys. That's part of the 25th hour habit. I kind of just made that up, but let's throw it in the mix. That's a new 25th hour habit. Declutter the mind, declutter your environment. But let's not get too carried away, because episode 2 is talking about fake it till you make it is expired. We will definitely talk about that, because I'm not here to discourage you in any way. I'm not here to knock people down for bad habits that they may be doing right now, because I still do I still have bad habits. I'm not here to knock anybody down because of a choice that they made or a bad habit they developed, because I still have bad habits. I still have things I need to work on. But once upon a time, this was one of them. Fake it till you make it. It's expired. It's expired. Now, quick disclaimer, I don't knock anybody who is out there and they're spending that money and living that good life and they're buying these luxury cars and jewelry and expensive clothes and expensive handbags. That's good. Good for you. If you earned it and you worked your ass off for it, I applaud you. Nobody can tell you nothing. You keep living that life. Nobody can take that from you. What I would like to discuss is the people that are really spending all their time and energy trying to develop this persona that is not really true to their soul, spending the very last dollar on things that are just ridiculous. Rather than trying to elevate themselves, they're trying to keep up with that image or trying to be that person that they're really not, just to impress a certain group of people or somebody around them that they're really consistently trying to keep up, right? And there's many reasons why you should not be faking it until you make it. It's not because of other people being able to call you out on it or see right through you, but it's most important for this right here, your mental health. You spend so much time and energy every day worrying about if you fall off track from this personality or this person that you created that's just completely fake, and you put your true self on the back burner, you're going to burn out. So don't do it. What you should focus on is finding your purpose in this life. Take all that energy. If you're following a trend right now and it's not really your thing, but you're doing it because everybody else is doing it, I encourage you to stop. Stop what you're doing. Don't follow the trend anymore. Take that time and find your true purpose of life. Step outside of your comfort zone. Like really, step outside of your comfort zone. I challenge you right now. And you can say this to yourself or the person next to you. Say it out loud. Are you doing what you really want to do right now? Are you the person that you really want to be right now? If your answer was no, then let's talk about it. We all have unique gifts and talents. Don't let that go to waste. Everybody is different. There's no other me and there's no other you. There's only one of each and every single one of us in this entire world. So the talents and the gifts that you've been blessed with, don't let them go to waste. And I don't want to hear nobody say that, oh, I don't have any talents. I'm not good at anything. There's nothing unique about me. You damn right there is. Stop telling yourself that. That's what finding your purpose is all about. Just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean that you don't have it. It just means that you need to spend a little more time and effort on finding it and stop wasting your time on shit that don't matter, such as trying to keep up with trends and trying to buy those new Yeezys. If you could afford them, again, this is not toward you. Go buy them. But if you can't afford these things and you're doing crazy things like blowing your whole paycheck and ending up with like $100 left in your account, maybe even $10 left in your account, and you look super fly, you got like the best fit on, you got the newest Louis bag. Now, not to confuse anybody, I do encourage people all the time to go after the life that you want. So if you're following these trends and you're seeing influencers doing this and doing that, and they're living these lifestyles that you are so turned on by and you love, that like that's where you want to be, go after it. But do it the right way. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm not saying not to want those things. I mean, who wouldn't want that life, right? But there's a way to get there. There's a right way to get there. And faking it, it's not one of them. It's not going to fly. It doesn't work. Don't do it. Because people nowadays will see right through you. Our generation now, the day and age that we live in with technology and people investing more time and bettering themselves are becoming more aware of exactly who's real and who's not. Like I said, maybe that worked before. And I'm sure there's people out there that made it. And they're doing big things now because they faked it until they got there. Now, guys, I'm only here to inspire you to go after the life that you really want. And if you are pretending to be there already, that is the worst thing you can do to yourself. I've been there. I'm not ashamed of it. Some of you watching or listening probably can call me out on it as well. You know, especially like in high school and my early 20s. Nothing I'm proud of now, but I'm not ashamed to speak on it because I was young. I was dumb. I didn't get it. I had no direction. I had no mentor. I had ambition. I had drive. I had like good intentions. I knew where I wanted to go. But early in my life, I was doing it wrong. You know, I had a job. I had a job since I was like 14 years old. The problem is I would have these jobs. I had 2 jobs and I would get 2 paychecks, decent money. What'd I go do? Blow it. Like literally 90% of it on like just ridiculous stuff. Fat diamond earrings, big fake gold chain, and, you know, go out one weekend, spend like $600 when, you know, knowing damn well it took me like a whole week to make that back then. Can you imagine that, guys? Or for those of you listening, do you guys remember those days where you would get your paycheck and you knew you had some bills to pay? You knew you had things in collections and you would go out one weekend and blow like $500 like it was nothing. And you have a credit card debt for like $200. And that goes into collections and never got paid off because your irresponsible self told you to go ball out so you could appear to be in that lifestyle already. I've been there. These are experiences that I've lived through. But I learned. As I got older, I realized all it was doing was just draining me. It was messing up my mental health. I got tired of waking up every day, going to school, all about the fast life and having the best things in life at an early age. But I couldn't afford none of that. I mean, I appeared to. It looked like I could. I was making some stupid choices. And this is how I know these things. Have I had the mindset that I have now back then? Oh man, I would have reached out to people so much faster and at an earlier stage. But it's okay. It's not too late. Still got a lot of time. And I'm doing it now. That's all that matters. So I'm very excited to share some of these messages with you guys. I'm not here to discourage anybody. If you're a trend follower, there's nothing wrong with that. But all I'm saying is build your framework right. There's nothing wrong with those things. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be the next big influencer out there. There's nothing wrong with that. But all I'm saying, guys, is to build that framework the right way. There's a way to do it. Don't build your framework based off of fakeness, because it will show out fast. And nobody likes that. But most importantly for yourself, it's going to mess you up here, because you're going to be playing in this race that you can't keep up with. And you're just going to burn out one day and you're going to want to give up. So be yourself. Step outside of your comfort zone. Like, I started stepping outside of my comfort zone like years ago, but it's the best decision I ever made. Like, a lot of people out there don't really know me. You know, like a lot of the people that I met in recent years don't really know me yet, but people close to me, like I'm myself. I'm goofy. Like, I like to crack jokes all the time. I like to make people laugh. I mean, I'm pretty sure in my previous life I was a comedian. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Who knows? It might be something that I can pursue somewhere down the line. But all seriousness, guys, don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. Like this, me doing this podcast is stepping outside of my comfort zone. If you ever see me do some silly stuff on my, social media, like a skit or something, or crack off a cheesy joke, that's because that's me. I'm really just trying to show people that you can be yourself and still win at this life. Let me say that again. You can still be yourself and win at this life. If you don't feel that right now, then you need to dig deep inside your heart and find it. You can be yourself and still win. You don't need to be this person or that person. You don't need to fake it to make it. That's expired. Get rid of that idea. Whoever gave you that advice before, it's wrong. It's over. Don't do that anymore. Be true to yourself. Check this out. If you're being yourself, your true self, and you're not being accepted by others, then you don't need those people in your life. Because when people can genuinely accept you for who you are, your life is worth more than any materialistic thing out there. I don't care what anybody. I don't care if you got this, $300,000 Lambo. I don't care if you're sitting on a $1.2 million property. That's all materialistic stuff. That doesn't account for the worth of your life. Don't ever let nobody make you feel otherwise. Don't. To all my men and women out there. Men, let's start here. Example. If you are just this guy that, you got a job, you got a good head on your shoulders, life is cool. You going day by day, doing your thing, put in your 9 to 5, doing best you can. Maybe your car's paid off. Maybe you're rolling in a Honda Civic. Guy next to you pulls up, decked out truck, rims. He gets out. He's all suited and booted up. Got Louis Vuitton shoes on. Got a wad of money. Don't let that stuff get to you. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? You worry about building your life. And the problem is with a lot of the younger guys out there, they're attracted to that. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying that it's wrong to be attracted to that, or it's not wrong to want that. I mean, who wouldn't want that? There's nice stuff, right? I like dressing nice, but there's a right way to do it, right? So rather than letting it get to you like my life sucks, like, how come I can't be there right now? Well, figure out how to get there. It's good to dream. It's better to hustle. I'll say that again. It's good to have a dream. It's better to hustle, because the hustle will make that dream become a reality. All right? For all my ladies out there, if you're a bargain shopper, for example, I'm a bargain shopper. I'm not afraid to admit it. For all my ladies out there, for example, if you're a bargain shopper and, you buy nice stuff, but you like to save money, or perhaps you're just not really in a position where you can be throwing money out there like it's nothing, and you see this young lady all decked out, probably around your age, and she's got the latest Louis Vuitton bag, Gucci bag. And you think, man, like, if your whole demeanor just dies down right there because you are doubting yourself of where you're at right now, stop doing that. Rather than hurting yourself in here and up here, figure out how to get there. Develop a new plan, because maybe what you're doing is not quite working or not getting closer to your goals faster. Now, let's take it back a little bit, right? Because this episode is not really intended to be talking about just materialistic items and money. It's really about your habits too. You know, like if you're pretending to be someone you're not, and you're going to this certain place because you want people to think, like, for example, if you're always going if you're always traveling and you're not really in a position to be traveling because your time is valuable, where maybe you haven't picked up a job yet. Maybe you're still looking for work, but you're traveling out there because you want people to see you on the live, on the gram, on the beach in LA, New York, Hawaii, wherever you're going. And you spent your last dollar on that trip, you're already losing. I'm not calling you a loser, but you're making losing habits. You're developing losing habits. Now, the people that are winning because they're being themselves. So stop worrying about who's going to accept you. Be you. Do you. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about faking it. We don't have to fake it anymore. Because if nobody can genuinely accept you for who you are, then they don't understand your true worth. Because you're worth more than any materialistic item out there. And I don't care what anybody says. You are worth more than you know. And you have to start telling yourself that. You have to start putting that in your mindset. Elevating yourself into the 25th hour. Because the 25th hour doesn't care about your money. The 25th hour mindset doesn't care about who you hang out with or the clothes you wear, the car you drive. The 25th hour mindset cares about who you genuinely are in this heart, in this mind, this soul. Be you. You know, I remember a time when I was just too busy just trying to keep up with the latest trends. And I keep saying that. I keep saying there's nothing wrong with it, because there really isn't. There's only something wrong with it when you are not in the position to do so. There's only something wrong with it when you're spending your last amount of energy into this and you're building this alternate version of yourself, but it's not you. Don't be ashamed to say that I can't do it. I can't go. It's not a good time for me right now. Say no. Say no. Stop worrying about what people think. Because somebody in your circle or somebody that you know, if they're a real person, they don't care what you have. They only care about you as a person. They care about the personality that you carry, the heart that you have inside, your vibe, your energy. That's worth more than anything else. Nobody will ever take that from you. So start being grateful for the things that you do actually have. Really, start being grateful for it. Because all those people out there stunting, is that still a word? Or is that, did I go back to for 2000? Anyway, if people are still out there faking these things and they just can't break out of that habit, and you know they're not there yet, best you can do is just encourage them to be themselves. It may not work for everybody. You know, I'm not here to talk down on people. I really ain't. I'm really just trying to encourage people to just find yourself, find your purpose. I say this all the time. Life is just too short to be living a false path. So get on your real path. Like if you're listening right now and you know you're doing these habits of faking it because you want to fit in or be accepted by, or you think that's the way out, just stop doing it and slowly start getting into a habit of just being yourself. Be who you really are. And if you lose people or if you lose friends over that, if you lose friends over being who you really are, then those aren't really your friends. It's not a race. It's not a race. Take care of yourself first. Take care of your mental health. Build that mentality. Build that immunity, that mental immunity. Build it. Don't let nobody break it. And it sucks because we live in a world where we are exposed to everything. Even if you're not big on like TV or social media, they're still going to find a way. There still will be a way to get this stuff in front of you. And people are so discouraged, you know, when you're scrolling through your timeline. And a lot of people will say like, wow, I wish I was that person, or I wish I can be doing what they're doing. Okay, there's two ways you can go about that. One, you can start developing a framework to get you closer to those goals. Or two, you just start doing things because you feel like that's what everybody wants to see. You start mimicking somebody else, and you're not in a position to do so yet. So until you get in a position to do these things freely, then you need to stay away from that stuff. Don't let none of these things on social media or the news outlets fool you, because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't know how many people out there are really just faking this lifestyle, and all it is a distraction for you. That's part of the whole bad habit cycle of faking it till you make it. Don't get sucked in by it. Even if you're not like doing these things, don't get distracted by it. And don't start thinking that you want to do these things that you're not really ready for. You know, like I always encourage people to start developing habits of the person that you want to become. Now, this is not to be confused with the faking it till you make it way. Developing habits or start doing things. You know, when I was younger, I read something in an article, and it was talking about start dressing like the person you want to become. Now, that is not a form of faking it. That's just being inspired by. So what I used to do, you know, as I got a little older, I switched up my style a little bit. I used to want to really like dress nice. I always wanted to dress nice. I love like collecting blazers and sport coats because I like to dress up. But I knew I couldn't afford, you know, these $300-$400 coats. So what I did was I went to the clearance section, JCPenney. That was like, it still is one of my favorite stores. Or I would go into Macy's. Now I wouldn't go to the top brands. I would go all the way to the back. You know the back. You know the back of the store. The clearance section. That's right. I would go to the clearance section and I would get me 4 blazers. Like cool ones, nice ones too. Probably the ones that nobody wore because, you know, sometimes there were funky patterns. But I would pick them up for like $20 each. Let's go through the shirts. Oh, it's like a $4 dress shirt, $3 dress shirt. Marshalls, $20 dress shoes, $16 jeans, right? Here's my point, guys. What I just mentioned right now, I was able to pick up a bulk of really nice outfits because I wanted to start dressing up, because I wanted to become that entrepreneur that got up, worked hard, but looked great while he was doing it. That was the vision I had for myself. So rather than focusing on going and buying a sport coat or a blazer that costs $800 because it was like top of the line and when it was a brand that I knew that everybody loved, I wouldn't focus on that because I can get something that looked just like it for like 20 or $40. And I did that. And I developed that habit. Even to this day, even if I have the money to buy these $600 sport coats, I still won't do it. It's not because I'm cheap. It's just because I developed these habits early on. It doesn't make sense to me. It might make sense for some of you, and that's okay. That's okay. Like, I'm not taking that from you. Like, if you could afford it, go get it. Cool. That's just not me. Like, I like nice stuff. Occasionally I'll spend, you know, more than what you should, like on a t-shirt or a pair of jeans, because you want quality stuff. But I'm telling you guys, quick tip. Not to get too carried away from the topic. Here's a quick tip, though. You will find some treasures in that clearance section. And you will find those top brands. It might, you know, might be a size bigger. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, you'll find it. You'll find it. So here's the point, guys. It's okay to start developing habits and start doing things like the person you want to be. For instance, dress like the person you want to become, right? That's okay. But do not spend your time and energy faking it until you make it, because you won't make it. You're only going to make it if you're true to yourself. Small percentage of people, they probably squeeze by and get through by faking it. But we still know who those people are. We see them all the time. All over social media. Don't get me started there. Don't get me started there, because that's a different story. There's a lot of fake people out there, and I'm not taking anything away from them. But let me ask you this question. I'm just curious. I wonder how many of these people out there that we can sit down with right now, one-on-one conversation, and would be truly 100% confident that their mental health is completely stable because they're not running a race and life is perfect as they display or want people to see. Curious. And if somebody thinks otherwise, I encourage you to get on a FaceTime or a Zoom call with me. Let's talk about it. I love a good debate. Like I said, guys, I don't have all the answers. Some of the things I say you may not fully agree with. I'm just speaking on my experience and from what I see nowadays. And I know ever since I made the decision to just be who I really wanted to be, man, life got good. Life got so good. I don't need to fake anything anymore. I used to. That was doing nothing for me but hurting myself. I hated it. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. It's been a long time. And if I can teach other people to do the same, I'm going to do it because I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to discover what's in your 25th hour because we all have something great waiting for us in that 25th hour. So I'm on a mission to discover what yours is. I hope I didn't go off topic too much, but trends and all that. Don't spend your time and energy following something that you're not ready for. Work your way up. And then when you get there, when you hit that peak, you could do whatever the hell you want and nobody can say anything. Then life gets really good. Really, really. Just make smart decisions. So if I can leave you guys with some powerful words, I'm going to recap what I said a bit ago. And that's really just to find your purpose. So write these down or just remember them. Type them in your phone. Just some things that I'm challenging you to focus on this coming week. Enjoy the weekend. Get your fakeness out the way. Just kidding. But no, seriously, after the weekend is over, I want to challenge you on these. If you're there already, cool. Keep it going. If you're not and you need some assistance with that, or you need somebody like me to tell you, let's do it. All right? So here's the thing. Go into next week, and I want to challenge you to, one, start finding what your purpose in this life is. If you don't know it yet, that's okay. Find it. When you look for it, you'll find it. It'll come naturally. If you know what you want to do and you feel that that's your purpose, then start making the right decisions and developing the right habits to get there. And also pray for it, guys. Nothing wrong with prayer. Pray for it. Number 2, start stepping outside of your comfort zone. Some of us, even as adults, are a little shy to really be who we are around like a group of people. I don't know why. Stop doing that. I'm not. I used to be, but I'm not. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of the feedback you're going to get. Just do it. Be yourself. You'll be a lot happier, I promise you. Number 3, don't waste the unique talent that you have been blessed with. And I don't want to hear you say you don't have any talents. You do. Find it. We all have unique talents. We all have been given a gift in this life. Don't let it go to waste. So find that talent, find that gift. So that's why the fake it till you make it way, it's expired. It's over. Be you. That's what's trendy. That's the new trend. That's the trend of 2021. Being real, be yourself. That's the hottest trend of 2021. If you think otherwise, let's talk about it, guys. I feel good. I'm your host, Lex. This is the 25th hour. It's been great. Stay tuned. Next week, I'll be dropping another episode. So let's continue to put you on the path of discovering a better version of yourself. So tune in next week and let's find your 25th hour.